In this video, we'll take a look at a new feature in Nerdio Manager version 4.2 and later called pre-staging of operating system disks for personal desktops. Let's jump directly into a personal desktop in my demo environment. So let's search for this host pool I've created called personal desktop, and let's open up the autoscale configuration page. On the autoscale configuration page, you'll see that we have something called autoscale mode, and there are two options here. We can do schedule-based or user-driven. And user-driven autoscale mode is super simple, but very powerful. The concept here is that the desktops are started when users attempt to connect, and desktops are stopped when users log off after however many minutes you specify. Now, one of the very powerful cost optimizations for personal desktops is the ability to save money on the OS disk storage when the VM is not running. What does that mean? That means that if you're using premium SSD or even standard SSD disks for running personal desktops, that gives the users the best possible performance. When that VM is shut down, when users are logged off, you really want to change the tier of that VM storage, the OS disk storage, from the premium SSD down to the cheapest possible tier, which is standard HDD. And that's going to give you the best possible cost while the VM is off and the best possible performance at a higher cost when the VM is on and being used by a user. The issue with that is if users are starting their VMs on Connect, that is happening outside of Nerdio Manager, and Nerdio Manager doesn't have the opportunity to perform the conversion from HDD to SSD before the user logs in. So if the user logs in, they will end up running with a slower standard HDD disk, which may not give them the needed performance. So this new feature called pre-staging of host operating system disks applies specifically to the user-driven autoscale mode where desktops are powered on by users on Connect. Here's how it works, pretty straightforward, but you basically define a schedule and you tell the system what disk you want to use while the VM is running and what disk you want to use while the VM is stopped. So in this default configuration, which you can obviously customize, the system says, hey, Monday through Friday between 8 and 6, I want to keep the VMs on premium SSD, and outside of those hours, I want to keep them in standard HDD. So let's play out a scenario. Let's say the user logs in at 8:30 a.m. Well, what happens before 8:30 a.m. is that this condition kicks in right before 8 o'clock, and the Nerdio Manager autoscale will automatically convert all the disks of non-running VMs, so the stopped VMs, from standard to premium SSD. So anyone who logs in after 8 a.m. will automatically get a faster disk, which is going to give them the best possible performance. Once the user logs off, if it's after 6 p.m., the system will go through and convert that disk to standard HDD so that the next morning when the user logs in, it will be converted back to premium SSD at 8 a.m. So this is sort of a working hours definition that allows you to have the best possible performance while the users are logged in, even if the machine is powered through Start VM on Connect as part of the user-driven autoscale algorithm. Hope you found this useful, and this will give you just another lever to save a considerable amount in Azure storage costs when working with personal desktops. See you in the next video.